Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm. In this video, I'm going to show you how to complete the top 10 list assignment. This is going to be kind of fun. I'm really excited. We're actually building things that are, that you might see on the internet. I mean, it's probably not as well designed as some of the things you'll see out there, but at least this is something that we can share with people and say, hey, I made this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start right away and stop rambling. I'm going to call this top 10 and create. Okay, so it's loading. I'm going to get rid of the script.js and the style.css because we're going to do all of our CSS styling within the document here. And I'm going to get rid of everything inside the body. And I'm going to get rid of the link to the CSS page. And then up here I'm going to say top 10 worst video games. That is going to be that's going to be my article. It's going to be the top 10 worst video games of all time. Now, for me, the way I like to design web pages is I like to start with the HTML so I can get the structure of the page done and then kind of decorate it, right? So I'm going to just go ahead and build the HTML first, and then we will get into decorating. So first, we're going to want an H1 at the top, just basically the title of the article. So I'm going to say top 10 worst video games. And make sure you include your end tag there. Perfect. Okay, now we need to get into our list. Now, with a list like this, or with an article like this, you probably want it to be an ordered list so that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going all the way down. Now, some of you may want to do like item 1 and then some text describing it, and item 2 and some text describing it. That's not what we're doing with this. We're literally just using this to create lists or show me that you know how. So it's just going to be a list of text on the screen. There's not going to be much to this website. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm going to use an ordered list for this project because I want it numbered 1 through 10. And my first list item is going to be, let's say, Superman 64. If anybody's ever played that game, you'll realize why it's number 1 on my list. It is terrible. Now, the nice thing is this list item structure here, it's basically the same thing as, it's the same as really any other, as all the other list items are going to be. And I can copy and paste all the way down. But I actually want to create links here because in the top 10 list thing, it says we need to create links to an image or a website related to your top 10 items. So I am going to, I probably should have done this before. I'm going to look up a website related to Superman 64, and I'll just grab the Wikipedia page here, the Wikipedia page. And I'm going to just grab that URL. And inside this list item here, actually, the list item is going to go inside of my anchor. Let's do it that way. I'm going to create an anchor element. And the href is going to be equal to that link that I just copied. Let me get rid of this files section. And let me smoosh this over a little bit. So that is, and then inside the anchor element or the anchor tag, open tag, and the list item, inside the anchor element open tag and the anchor element close tag, we're going to include this list item. So that is going to be what's displayed on the screen. Let's go ahead and run it and see if that worked. Now notice that the entire link, including the one, is a link, right? Which is not really what I want. So maybe what I can do instead is let's grab this list item, open and close, and we'll actually wrap the anchor element inside the list item. How about that? That might actually be a better way to do it. Let me run it and see if that worked. Now that's better. Notice my 1 is no longer part of the hyperlink. That's probably the way I want to do it from now on. Okay, cool. So now I have my first entry on this list. Now it's really just copy and paste. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste. I'm only going to do, let's see. I'm going to do 5. You're going to do the full 10. just because it's good for practice. I'm only going to do 5 just because, you know, you don't need to sit here and watch me create list items and links all day. All right, so number 2 is going to be, let's do E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So now I need to change the item or the text that shows up on the screen. Now, this might actually be number 1 on the list. This game was so bad that there was an urban myth that they buried copies of this out in the desert in New Mexico, and it was actually confirmed to be true. The extraterrestrial video game. It was actually confirmed to be true. A documentary crew went out there a couple years ago and filmed a documentary of them actually finding this this hidden stash that was buried. This hidden stash of games that was buried. It's bad. It's a bad game. All right, let's see. That's E.T. What's another bad game? Oh, you know what? Bubsy 3D. I remember playing that game when I was a kid, and it was just not good. So I'm going to do Bubsy 3D. And then I will find the link for it here. Bubsy 3D. And actually, I'm going to bring my Wikipedia tab over here so you can see what I'm doing. All right. And then, yeah, and all I'm doing is I'm just really just replacing where the link goes and the text that shows up in the list item whenever I'm done working on it, right? Let's see. Oh, you know what? The 2006 version of Sonic the Hedgehog is really bad. I don't know if you guys ever played Sonic. I think for the Xbox 360, it was really, really not good. Yeah, 2006, I think. Let's see. All right, let's see. Sonic 2006. I think it's 2006. Yeah. Oh, this game was so bad. Oh, terrible. Which, you know, kind of bummed me out because I liked Sonic the Hedgehog when I was a kid. By the way, if my voice sounds a little bit off, I'm a little under the weather. We'll say it that way. And then let's see. What's the final bad video game I want to include on this list? I mean, it's hard to think of games I don't like because I like a lot of video games. Let's go with... You know what? I'm going to go with a controversial choice. I'm going to go with Halo. I know some of you are screaming at me right now, but you know what's fun? I can't hear you. Halo. Oh, look at all this. And we're going to go with Halo Combat Evolved. How about that? That's the worst video game of all time. All right. So now if I run it, I should see a list of 5 items here. And now some of you might be thinking, hey, why are your links already purple? Well, it's because I just went there to these links in my web browser, right? But I can see that the links actually work. I can link to the Wikipedia page for each item. And everything. Okay, great. So now I need to actually start, designing my webpage. But before I do that, I actually want to change this Halo link because some of you are going to do image links, right? Some of you are going to have images here in your files section and you're going to link to those images. So I'm going to go over here to Halo and I'm actually going to save this as, and then I will bring that image into my files section. Now a little tip with, hello. I just dropped you in there, bud. There we go. A little tip with these images here. It's always a good idea to rename them because you're going to have to type the name. And if you don't type it exactly the same as the way it's written, it's going to be very difficult for you type it correctly, right? So instead of linking to the Wikipedia page for that, I'm actually going to link to halo.jpg, right? And now when I run my website, if I click on this Halo link, it'll pull up the picture of the picture that I downloaded and put in there. So that's how you do image links as well. So your links can be image links. They can also be links to other web pages. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and start designing my web page. One thing I think I want to do is first of all, I'm going to give this a nice font and a nice background. Let's do, and I want to change my list style here as well. Just for gigs, just for the giggles of it. All right, let's go up into my head section and create a style tag. And oh, there's one thing I forgot to do. Notice that I created my ordered list, but I have not finished my ordered list. I haven't ended it. Watch what happens if I just put a paragraph element. This is a paragraph. Now watch what happens. Oh no, everything is broken. It's because paragraphs don't go inside of ordered lists. And until I close it off, it's not going to work, right? So make sure you are... Oh, did I break it for reals though? I think I really broke it. It's because I have my style tag up there. Hold on a second. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I'm going to try to show you what I was talking about. All right, now let me run it and show you. See how my paragraph is inside of that list? It's actually like indented and stuff. Normally, paragraph elements should be smushed all the way up to the side. But it's not working that way. But it's also not numbered and organized the same way these are, because this is really confused. The ordered list is confused. It's like, hey, why are you putting a paragraph inside of me? That sounds weird. I don't take paragraphs, right? So you want to make sure you close off your list items. This is an example of everything will work properly if you don't close it off until you start adding more content, and then things are all thrown off. Same thing with links. Watch what happens if I get rid of this end tag for this link. Now when I run it, everything looks normal, but if I click on Sonic 20... Oh, hello. Oh, it's because I have active links in here. Anyway, if I had a bunch of if I just had another list item in here that didn't have a link, this shouldn't be a link. And I'll put it right underneath of that first entry. It will actually keep that Superman 64 link going until a new link replaces it, right? Because I didn't end the link. So some of you are going to create a web page later on where you have a link at the top and then you have some text later on in your page. But that text is a link for some reason. It's because you forgot to close off a link element or an anchor element somewhere. Okay, perfect. So now we're done playing around with what could go wrong. Let's start making things go right. I'm going to create a style section here. Now the first thing I want to do is I'm going to change my background color. Now, one thing that I like to do is... Oh, I just typed Coom, Adobe. It's color.adobe.com. I would have gone to the wrong place anyway. One thing I like to do when I'm playing around with websites and colors and trying to find nice color combinations is I go to Adobe Color. Adobe Color is a fantastic website, and it lets you easily find good color schemes for your website. So I'm going to use, let's say, let's do a monochromatic. But I want it to be, it's video games, right? So it's kind of greenish. Actually, no. I think maybe I want complementary. Nah. Let's see. Oh, let's go to explore. There are a lot of cool color schemes in here. Trends is good too. Let's see. Graphic design, web design, game design, wilderness, flavor, travel. Let's go to... that's nice. I'm just going to grab one here because I don't want to spend too much time playing around. I like this one right here. So I'm going to open this up. This gives me the hex values for all of these colors. And I'm going to use that as my font. I'm going to use, or that's going to be my header font. This is going to be my list item font color. I'll use this as my background color. Okay. So it's going to be, I'm going to copy that. Right? Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and run it and make sure that that worked. And it did. Background color. Now I wonder why my text... Oh, because I haven't closed my style tag. See, I keep forgetting to close tags out. All right, so that's my background color. Looks nice. And we're going to use this as my H1 font color. And then I also want to change it to a sans serif font as well. Oh, that's not how you do it. Where is the... 1 second. Fonts. I always spell it wrong. You know what I mean? Oh, it's with the hyphen. That's why. I've been doing web development for close to 20 years, and I still have to look things up. So don't feel bad if you're looking things up all the time. I look things up all the time. All right, so I'm going to change my anchor elements so that they are this color. So remember, Las Vegas has apples. So the link V is visited. I'm going to change my visited color to be this. And we'll say a hover will be... We'll say this. Let's go ahead and run it. So now, if you notice, I can hover over these links, and when I click on them, I go back to where I go there, and then, yeah. So this looks good. Now I can spend a lot more time playing around with the style, and I probably would if I was really building this out. But this is good enough for the assignment, right? I want you guys to play around with using CSS to do specific things. You can even turn these into buttons if you want inside the linked list or inside the list. If you want to do it that way, that's fine too. It's really up to you. I mean, be creative. But for me, this is pretty great. Now, again, yours is going to have 10 items in it. Mine only has 5 because, you know, I don't want to spend all day writing list items here. But this is what your assignment's going to look like. These links have to work, by the way. If I click on the link, I want it to take me somewhere or pull something up or whatever, right? So this has to be an active link that actually works. All right, cool. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.